Once upon a time, Katy Perry was the unstoppable queen of pop, the woman who could launch a song and watch it rocket to the top of the charts faster than you could say California Girls. She had the wigs, the wild costumes, the fireworks shooting bras, and the kind of hits that could turn a grocery store run into a full-on dance party. But somewhere between her teenage dream glory days and today, something changed. The chart-topping streak started to fade, the reviews got harsher, and even some of her most loyal fans began to drift away. Was it the music, the image, or just the cruel clock of pop culture ticking on? Her journey from candy-coated superstar to struggling hitmaker is packed with jaw-dropping twists, awkward interviews, and bold risks that didn't quite land. And while Katy's still a household name, the road she's on now is a far cry from the glitter-soaked stadium tours of her past. So what happened to one of pop's most vibrant stars? And is there still a way back to the top for her? Let's peel back the layers and find out. In the early 2010s, Katy Perry seemed untouchable. Teenage Dream wasn't just an album, it was a cultural earthquake. Every single song she released felt like a personal invitation to sing at the top of your lungs, whether you were in your car, your shower, or your cubicle, while your boss pretended not to notice. She tied Michael Jackson's record for the #1 singles from one album. She was everywhere. Super Bowl halftime shows, magazine covers, even voicing animated characters. Life was a candy-colored fairy tale. But fairy tales have plot twists. The first cracks began to show after her 2013 release, Prism. While hits like Roar roared their way to the top, not all the singles had the same magic. Critics began whispering that maybe, just maybe, the formula was starting to feel predictable. By the time Witness dropped in 2017, those whispers had turned into loud conversations. The album was supposed to be a bold, political, and experimental reinvention. Instead, it was met with mixed reviews, confused fans, and a noticeable drop in sales. Suddenly, the girl who could do no wrong was facing headlines that read more like postmortems than praise. And it wasn't just her music. Her image, once fresh and quirky, started to feel like it was chasing trends instead of setting them. The playful shock value, the cupcakes, the neon wigs, the unapologetic pop fun gave way to calculated reinventions that didn't quite connect. The media began dissecting her every move, from awkward live TV moments to questionable interviews. That viral exchange with an American Idol contestant who called her mom didn't help either. The internet pounced, declaring she was out of touch. Fans too started to notice. Social media, once a place where Katy reigned supreme, became a double-edged sword. Every tweet, haircut, or performance was instantly judged, memed, and dissected. Her fun-loving confidence began to be interpreted as try-hard energy, and in an industry where relevance can vanish faster than you can say pop princess, the warning signs were impossible to ignore. Katy wasn't gone, far from it, but the air of invincibility that had surrounded her for years was fading. It wasn't one catastrophic moment that caused it, but a slow accumulation of small missteps, shifting trends, and an industry moving at lightning speed. The question wasn't just, can Katy Perry have another hit? But can Katy Perry still matter in the same way she once did? The stage was set for a rocky road ahead, and the next chapter in her career would prove just how tough that road could be. By the late 2010s, Katy Perry wasn't just fighting for chart dominance. She was fighting for public perception, and in pop culture, perception is everything. One of the most talked about moments came with her Witness promotion cycle. Determined to show a more woke and socially aware side, Katy chopped her hair into a platinum pixie, traded her bubblegum style for edgy minimalism, and launched a 72-hour live stream where fans could watch her eat, sleep, and cry in real time. It was meant to humanize her. Instead, it felt uncomfortably raw. Watching your favorite pop star in therapy, in pajamas, or eating oatmeal on camera wasn't the escapism fans signed up for. Critics said she was trying too hard to reinvent herself. Then came American Idol. On paper, it was a perfect gig, a steady paycheck, weekly TV exposure, and a chance to mentor new talent. But Instead of boosting her brand, the show became a source of viral cringe moments. She was accused of being overly flirty with contestants, shutting down criticism, and delivering awkward one-liners that landed with a thud. In an era where authenticity is king, her exaggerated TV persona came across as forced. And then there were the lawsuits. The Dark Horse copyright trial in 2019, where she was accused of ripping off a Christian rap song, became a media circus. Though the initial ruling against her was eventually overturned, the damage to her image was done. Suddenly, headlines weren't about her music, but about courtrooms and plagiarism. Even her marketing misfired. A 2019 shoe line featuring designs that resemble blackface was pulled from shelves after backlash. Whether intentional or not, it added another layer to the Katy Perry is out of touch narrative that was building online. Social media, once her playground, had turned into a firing squad. Every stylistic shift, every public comment, every Instagram post was dissected by fans and critics alike. The pop star who once thrived on her ability to read and shape cultural trends suddenly felt like she was chasing them and falling behind. By this point, the conversation around Katy Perry wasn't about whether she'd have another #1 hit, but whether she could even reclaim her place in cultural conversation. And while some artists fade gracefully, Katy's decline was happening under the brightest lights, with the whole world watching. While the headlines were busy chronicling her career turbulence, Katy Perry's personal life was undergoing its own transformation. By 2019, she had gotten engaged to actor Orlando Bloom, and in 2020, they welcomed their daughter, Daisy Dove. For Katy, this was a season of joy, love, and redefining her priorities. For the music industry, however, it marked a subtle but undeniable shift. Her days of being the 24/7 pop machine seemed over. Motherhood changed her perspective, and she was open about wanting a slower, more balanced lifestyle. But the pop world isn't exactly built for slow. Trends were moving faster than ever. TikTok was rewriting the rules of music promotion. Gen Z stars like Billie Eilish and Olivia Rodrigo were capturing the zeitgeist, and nostalgia acts like Taylor Swift were reinventing themselves with surgical precision. Katy's 2020 album Smile was meant to be a return to form, a colorful, hopeful project with feel-good tracks. But despite her heartfelt themes and a few catchy moments, it landed softly, debuting outside the top spot and fading quickly from the charts. For an artist who once dominated with back-to-back anthems, this was a glaring sign that her grip on mainstream pop had loosened. There was also the challenge of timing. Pop culture has a short memory, and between her long gaps in chart dominance, new artists have filled the space she once owned. Katy's signature style, cheeky, colorful, unapologetically pop, suddenly felt almost retro in a world leaning into moody minimalism and hyperdigital chaos. The neon wig and candy landscapes that once felt fresh now risk being seen as kiddish. Her Las Vegas residency, Play, which began in late 2021, proved she could still command a stage and deliver a spectacular show. Critics praised her vocal performance and production value, but residencies often signal a pivot, a move toward legacy act status, where you're celebrated for past hits rather than current dominance. It's a comfortable lane, but for an artist who once set the pace of pop, it can feel like a quiet surrender. Still, if there's one thing Katy Perry has shown time and time again, it's resilience. The question is no longer whether she can match her teenage dream peak. It's whether she can evolve into something entirely new before pop culture writes its final chapter on her career. The story of Katy Perry's decline isn't a tragic implosion. It's a slow fade, the kind that creeps in until one day you realize the once unstoppable hitmaker is no longer in the cultural driver's seat. But here's the twist. In pop, nothing is ever truly final. The industry loves a good comeback story, if you can pull it off. Katy has several advantages in her corner. She's still a recognizable global name with a catalog of anthems that can ignite a crowd in seconds. She has the stage presence, the work ethic, and a fan base, even if smaller than before, that remains fiercely loyal. And with her Las Vegas residency, proving she can still deliver powerhouse performances, the live arena is hers to command. But the challenges are steep. The streaming era rewards constant output and viral moments, two things Katy has largely avoided in recent years. To win back the charts, she'd need more than nostalgia. She'd need a sound and image that feel fresh, not recycled. This means taking risks that resonate, not risks that read as gimmicks. There's also the public perception hurdle. Reinvention in the modern pop landscape isn't just about music. It's about cultural relevance, relatability, and timing. Artists like Lady Gaga and Miley Cyrus have navigated reinventions that brought them back to critical and commercial heights. Katy would need her own version of that, something authentic but surprising enough to make the world stop scrolling and pay attention. If she can find that balance, the sweet spot between her candy-coated roots and a new evolved artistry, a comeback isn't impossible. After all, pop history is full of second and third acts. The question is, will Katy Perry choose to fight for hers, or will she settle comfortably into being a beloved icon of a past golden era? For now, the firework isn't completely out, but the world is waiting to see if it will explode in the sky once more. But let's not take it away. Katy has been the chart dominator, the cultural icon, the halftime queen, and now the seasoned veteran is navigating an industry that worships the new. The decline hasn't erased her legacy. Teenage Dream will forever be a pop masterpiece, and her biggest hits are stamped into the soundtrack of a generation. But pop is a game of momentum, and right now, hers is paused. Whether she roars back into a reinvention that shocks the world or settles into a more comfortable glow of nostalgia, one thing is certain: Katy Perry's name is far from forgotten. The only question is, will her next chapter be a gentle fade out or the most unexpected comeback pop has ever seen? Feel free to share your thoughts with us in the comment section below. And that's it from us today. Until next time, thank you for watching.